and we should be there here any moment. Awesome. So we are now live on YouTube. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, you guys. We're going to dive straight into this live training for today, pick up right where we left off, and just keep the ball rolling, helping you guys win more listings with awesome ads on Facebook and through direct mail. So today, to continue on, the next step in the process is going to be seller's guide or seller guide ads that you can run on Facebook. Now, a really cool thing with these seller guide ads is that they can be imported anywhere into your strategy as far as how you're marketing to those potential sellers. And we're going to touch base on that towards the end of the training today to kind of show you how you can string through these and have multiple advertisements or advertisements that go out in front of these potential sellers so that you can stay top of mind and stay in front of them every step of the way. So seller guide is a great way to provide a detailed home seller's guide, allowing you the ability to gain authority and trust with your potential sellers. Seller's guides, again, can be used as your initial campaign or as a retargeting ad to somebody who's already completed a home valuation, is a for sale by owner, canceled, expired, withdrawn, or came from a pending or sold property ad. So it's really good to utilize these seller's guides to remarket those individuals so that you can help showcase that authority. Right, so when it comes to the Facebook ad strategy, if you want to use this as your initial run, your initial ad to push out there to potential homeowners, you don't have to do anything fancy. When you run an ad for real estate on Facebook, you have to select special ad category housing right out of the gate. So from the beginning, as soon as you launch that ad, it has to have that special ad category that's built into it. And Facebook does a really good job pinpointing our ideal seller based off of the content that's built within that ad. So when marketing on Facebook with a seller's guide, we found that Facebook algorithm does a great job putting your ad in front of homeowners. You can also use additional detailed targeting for a custom list. Below is a list of interests that you can use to target homeowners on Facebook. So those interests include Realtor.com, mortgage calculator, mortgage loans, for sale by owner, FHA insured loan, Trulia, single family detached home, real estate appraisal, mortgage broker, residential area, homes.com, real estate broker, mortgage insurance, Zillow, or pre-qualification lending. So if somebody's working through that pre-qualification lending, pretty good opportunity that somebody that's actually looking to purchase a new house or has that interest. And so it's a good way to make sure that we can put ourselves in front of those sellers who could potentially be selling a home. So if you guys want to build these ads out on your own, whether you're building them from scratch or you're going through listings to leads, these are really good interests that you can go ahead and target in those advertisements to set your guys' self up for success and get a lower cost per lead. Now, of course, you can always go and pull a list of homeowners from your local marketplace using a platform like Remine, Property Radar, PropStream, getting information from your local title company. If it comes in a CSV and you have a name, a phone number, and an email, you can import that directly into Facebook. They can pinpoint that ideal audience and put your ad directly in front of them. Just know that if you are targeting your own audience in Facebook, there may be some additional costs that would be involved with that. Because Facebook is going to have a higher cost per market when you're targeting a custom list. And what a cost per market is your cost for 1,000 impressions. And that's going to be when your ad gets viewed when somebody's searching through their Facebook stream or through their feed. If they see your ad, that's an impression. If they are clicking on an article to go and read something that maybe they're looking at what's going on with Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, and they clicked on an article, your ad may be displayed in that article, and that display of your ad would also be considered an impression. So your cost per market is your cost for 1,000 impressions. Now, if you're doing your detailed targeting like this on Facebook, where you're going off of the interests, or if you're just letting Facebook find the ideal person for you without any interest involved, either way works, then you will have a lower cost per market because you're not going after a specific list. but you can ensure that you aren't wasting your ad dollars when you upload a list, because you're only putting that in front of the ideal eyeballs that you want that ad to be in front of. So you're precision targeting your market when you upload that list. Now, a couple of things to keep in mind. If you're building ads through Listings to Leads, Listings to Leads is an awesome tool that has an app built into Facebook. And so what that means is when you build an ad through Listings to Leads, it automatically is going to be checking all of the boxes that Facebook is looking for in a real estate ad, which is going to get the ad approved and running faster, but it's also going to bring in a lower cost per market. So if you want to run those custom lists, I recommend utilizing Listings to Leads so that you can run that ad and decrease your cost per market. It's marginal, but it's going to save you some money, and it's going to give you a better cost per acquisition and cost per result on your leads. So some examples of sellers guides that we can look at here. We've got 3 separate sellers guides. There's more than this, but these are just ones that I pulled for example. First time sellers guide here, we can see selling your first home. Get the free first sellers, or get the free sellers guide and learn what to expect every step of the way. Click to get this guide now. All they have to do is click, fill out their information. The guide will automatically be emailed to them. On this one, we have the ultimate guide to selling your home. And you can see they all have this click here to download now button. But we can see here the ultimate guide to selling your home. Selling a house for the first time doesn't have to be stressful. Learn what to expect every step of the way, how to negotiate your home sale, tips for experienced realtors or from experienced realtors, and what to do after the sale and more. Click to get this guide now. So you guys can see that we also have good call to actions down here at the bottom of these. So we can see click for your free report now, selling your first home, get your free seller's guide. This one is get the ultimate guide to selling your home, and then learn what to expect every step of the way, what to do, and more. And then on this last one that we have here is secrets to selling your home fast. Now, this is going to be something that's going to catch a lot of homeowners' attention. Even though they're seeing that the market homes are selling quickly now, it's still a great way to put yourself in front of those potential sellers and give yourself a leg up to win their business. So free guide. Go ahead, William.
I was also going to mention another thing, which is that Listings to Leads has also just added in the video. They're kind of like a GIF, if you will. And so they are, or actually, excuse me, there's an actual video clip that they've created for a bunch of the different templates for the PDF guides. So if you haven't checked those out, also make sure you do so. And that's something that we would love to start testing as well, to see the performance on that.
Awesome. Yeah, it's a great ad. I think what we should do is once we get towards the end of this, we are going to be diving into Listings to Leads and walking through a couple of these things in there. So I think that would be a great time for you to take over and showcase that.
Sounds good.
Awesome. So in this one, we've got free guides, secrets to selling your home fast. We've got that cool smiley face with the sunglasses. Stacia, you're going to need those soon since you're in LA. When it comes to selling your home fast, fast sale at the right price is what dreams are made of. Discover the strategies top realtors employ to achieve quick sales without compromising on price. Click to get this guide now, and then click below to get this free guide now. Free guide, secrets to selling your home fast. So we're delivering the message essentially 3 times in each one of these ads, which is going to solidify exactly what they're downloading and what they want to receive. But a big caveat on this portion right here where it says discover the strategies top realtors employ to achieve quick sales without compromising on price, that is going to be a message that will resonate with homeowners that are potentially looking to sell their homes. So the next thing that we're going to dive into, you guys, is going to be pending listings. So showcasing your pending listings tells homeowners that you can sell their home. It's important to showcase pending and past sales to your potential clients so that they can imagine their home being sold for top dollar in the shortest amount of time. With pending listings, you should be running ads on Facebook and also sending direct mail to that specific neighborhood so that you can showcase that you're selling a home near them. So not only do you guys want to run an ad on Facebook to showcase that home that you recently sold, putting you in front of potential homeowners so that you can win new listing business. But you also want to go into that marketplace, wherever that listing is. And I recommend as soon as that listing goes up for sale, the day that you have that thing live, you should be having direct mailers going into the inboxes of that surrounding neighborhood and all of the neighbors of that home, showcasing that it is for sale. The second that that home goes listing or goes pending, I recommend then turning around and doing the exact same thing, sending out another mailer to that neighborhood, showcasing that you just had that home that they just saw was listed within a couple of days, is now pending and is ready to be closed upon by a potential buyer that has put in an offer. So it's extremely important to showcase these, because it's going to help build your authority again with those homeowners in that particular marketplace. And you'll be able to get a little bit farther breadth than that neighborhood alone on Facebook, but it's going to keep showcasing you as a go-to agent in your marketplace. So some examples of pending listings you can see here. We've got a big banner here, pending in Cleveland. Click for photos and details, right? And then it shows 346 Northeast Old Charleston Road, Cleveland in Tennessee is now pending and is expected to close soon. When this home is sold, it will affect your home's value. Click below to get your new updated value estimate for free. You can see it's the same ad copy on either of these, but that message getting across to potential sellers is key, so that they can see that you are an agent that's currently doing production in their market and in their neighborhood. So when you're running these ads on Facebook, if you're doing them through Listings to Leads, it's simple, couple of clicks of a button, you've got this ad live and it is rocking and rolling. And we're going to dive into Listings to Leads and show you guys how to do each of these towards the end of this training. And with that, we're also going to show you guys how to chain these ads together. So if you run a home valuation ad to an individual, you can then run a pending listing behind that to that same audience that's clicked on your home valuation ads. You can then run a just sold, you can then run a seller's guide, so on and so forth. That way you can maintain consistency and stay in front of those homeowners, showcasing yourself as the go-to agent in that marketplace. Now, when it comes to sending out your direct mailers for those pending listings, here's a couple of examples that came directly out of Listings to Leads. And again, we're using the same listing that we showcased above, but you can see that we have three different designs that we picked from here just to showcase you guys. There are a ton of different templates built into Listings to Leads. So if you want to pull any of those, plug them into Mailbox Power or another direct mail service, you can do so. It's very simple for you to do. You just download it, go ahead and import it into your direct mail platform, and then you are off to the races, sending those mailers out to that neighborhood and blanketing the homeowners within a specific radius of your listing, so that you can again showcase yourself as the agent they're going to want to reach out to. It looks like I've got a question from Sue. Go ahead, Sue.
So thanks, Brian. Do you think that, is there any statistics, like if you just do one mailing, I'm sure you're probably not going to get a lot of response. Is it usually after maybe 2 or 3, like a pending and then a sold or something else? Or what is your thought on that from your experience?
Definitely. In my experience, the more mailers that you send out, the higher likelihood that you have for conversion and the better rate that you will receive. So if we take a look at some of our past examples that we've done and case studies, if we just look back to the FSBO case study that we had covered in the past, and actually let me pull that up for you guys. Give me just one moment. No, not slides. I wanted slides. There we go. Salad. I'm going to be hungry now. Okay, so let me see. FSBO domination here. So we covered a case study that was done by a gentleman named Brennan Mulrennan. This was, I think, 4 months ago we ran this one. But anyways, in this particular live training, we covered the FSBOs that were only sent direct mail. And so Brennan had found, or had pulled 590 FSBOs, and this was all through My Plus Leads, exactly what we're using. And those 590 FSBOs, He ended up mailing about 8.9 pieces of mail out to each one of those for sale by owners. The total cost was $4,100. And out of that, he had 36 agents, or excuse me, 36 homeowners, FSBOs, that reached directly out to him. Of those 36, he was able to convert 24 of them, and the total sales volume was 11,900,000. So if he was at a 3% commission on those, he earned about 357,000 on that on that total sales volume of 11,900,000. Now, of course, every market's different. If you're in a market that's running 2% or 2.5% right now, go ahead and plug those numbers in, see what kind of a return you'd be able to get on that. And if we look at this, it was 24 listings. So if we look at 11,900,000 divided by 24, average home value was about 500,000. So 495 was the average home value that we're looking at there, just shy of 500,000. So you can plug and play the numbers for your market based off of that information to see what kind of a return you'd be able to expect utilizing direct mailers. But you can see that there were a lot of mailers that were sent out in order to achieve those results. So your first mailer that you send out typically isn't going to result in a lot of responses. But as you continue to market those individuals and continue to keep yourself in front of them, that's what's going to allow them to drive your way and give you the opportunity to win those listings. Did that answer your question, Sue?
Yes, it did. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you, Sue. And so moving on, the next thing that we're going to take a look at is our just sold listings. So show off your recent sold listings, sold within 30 days. I would even say out to 6 months. If you have a recently sold listing, you can continue to showcase that for up to 6 months, and it's still technically a recently sold home. But especially within that first 30 days, we want to get that out, and we want to start showcasing that in front of our potential home sellers, so that we can win their business and start building our brand affiliation with them. So with listings leads, new photo formatter, you can now choose from multiple templates to showcase and capture a better click-through rate and conversion. And William, does the next slide cover that? Because you had actually built this section of it, or do you want to actually take over and share the screen and walk through that really fast? We've got them.
Yeah.
So I'll showcase the examples really fast, and then we'll go ahead and dive into that. And then we've got tying it all together and some remarketing strategies for this as well. So you guys take a look at these images that you can build inside of Listings to Leads. This is an image that is going to provoke a lot of clicks, because you can see that we have a couple of images of the home. We've got 5 different images in one photo, a collage of 5 different images. But this last one is covered, or kind of it's not completely transparent. It's got a layer over it that's translucent, and it says 46 more pics. So if someone likes the look of the outside of this home, likes the trees, likes the yard, the driveway, the garage, they're going to end up clicking on this to see those additional pics. And at that point in time, once they click on this, it's going to drive them to a place where they can submit their information to you. So these style of images, when you're running these types of ads through Listings Leads, have a very, very good impact in your marketing, and give you a really solid opportunity to win more leads at a lower cost, because the image is designed to get people to click. And
Yep.
it's pretty awesome.
So
So
Kelly,
I'll go ahead and stop my share and let you take over, Willie.
okay, sure. And Kelly actually just had mentioned before, we jumped on all together, that his newest ad for his newest listing that he was running, actually he used that new template, and he received like 12 leads or something at a buck a lead, just off the past day or two since he pushed that live. And so let me jump back in here. Where's my, sorry, here we go. Okay, just sold listing example. So great examples there. And there's actually a lot of other template choices that you can go off of. And I can, let's see, I can jump in here and show you guys as well real quick, a couple of those. So let's go into the sold, which is the one that we're showing right now. So all you have to do is click edit image right here after you click to market your listing. You can see here, this is one of the nicer ones that shows the more pictures and gets people to click. If you click edit image, there is a ton of different template choices here. So let's just scroll down to the end here. There's this one I really like also that shows the agent, their headshot, and has the nice little bar there, shows 2 little pictures. Then we've got another one here, shows more images of the house, and it has your headshot in the bottom right-hand corner. So a lot of really great templates to choose from, and this is a change that just happened. So I'm going to be doing a bunch of testing to see how these conversion rates are for our clients. So far, we've seen just a massive increase. So we're pretty excited about that. And I've yet to see what their editor will pull up in here as well. So a lot of testing to do with that. And I'm excited because I'm the test guy, as everybody knows. I enjoy running tests. And so tying it all together, Brian, have you gone through this yet? No, right?
I have not. So you guys, when it comes to tying it all together, the big thing is no matter where you start when you're advertising, whether you are starting with, a listing ad, or you're starting with a home valuation ad, or wherever you start, you need to make sure that you have remarketing in place so that you can consistently stay in front of those folks. So I'm going to go ahead and read this. No matter where you start with your advertising, it's important to remarket to your potential listings. Maintaining consistent messaging to homeowners is key when it comes to winning those new listings. For example, if you start with home valuation ads, you can then remarket those individuals with any of the ad types that we have covered above. So if someone has filled out a form requesting information on the value of their home, you can then turn around and run a seller's guide ad right behind that so that you can start providing them with additional information and giving them more things to click on. And so maybe if you're doing remarketing and retargeting on this, you may not necessarily need to capture the first name, last name, phone number, and email again. So with this particular ad set, you may just want to run that where you're only collecting an email address. It will still show up in your CRM that they have completed that particular form or submitted that particular form and provided their info to you. They will automatically receive that seller's guide through Leads to ROI or through Listings to Leads, depending on how you're running that ad. So it would be a great way to go ahead and follow up with a home valuation ad with a seller's guide. But I would also take it a couple of steps further. I wouldn't just stop there. I would also start sending that homeowner, since they have provided us their address, I would be sending that homeowner a postcard. I would be sending that homeowner, several postcards, excuse me. And then I would be putting them in place for remarketing campaigns so that we're putting our past sales in front of them. We're putting our pending sales in front of them. We're putting every type of that ads that we've covered above directly in front of those clients. So William, if you could actually scroll up on the slideshow, we've covered a ton of different sellers ad types in this training series. And if we go through, I think it's through slide 30 through 52 is all sellers stuff. So if you scroll up, we can show them a couple of different ad type examples that they can run in remarketing.
I was just wanting to finish off the last template that I had created, which ties into what you were just talking about.
Okay, go ahead.
So some marketing strategies here, and this falls in line with tying it all together as well. And so constant follow-up with calling, texting, direct mail, and consistency with your automated saved search alerts will bring you the highest conversion rates possible. Okay. So we're sending out the mailers, we're texting, we're calling, we've got different ad types that are running. Consistency is key, guys. And if you don't have an ISA and you are the ones that are making the calls, you got to make sure that you're putting in those manual call sets. You're setting aside a call block session for yourself, even if it's 20 minutes a day. So you can just call the new leads and the old leads that you need to follow up with a second or third time, right? That's extremely important. Now, statistically, our client base has seen a much higher conversion rate with Facebook lead ads in comparison to most industry standards. If you look up most industry standards, it's 1 to 2% is what they're saying with Facebook ads. And statistically, with doing direct mail campaigns, with an ISA, with IDX dynamic ads, with listings to leads listing ads, all of those things with automated saved search alerts, you are literally hitting every single angle possible and making sure that in their mind, you are the brand that they need to go with, right? And so that's something that's important. And thanks, Brian, for updating that for me, because you were the one that actually did the class on the Harvard study. So Brian dove deep and found some great articles for us. And one of the articles was from Harvard, which launched a very large study. It wasn't a small one. Harvard likes to do it big, as we know. And the study stated that you have over a 90% chance to connect with a potential customer if you call them a minimum of 6 times. And so that's what we've set our ISAs to do, is they call at least a minimum of 6 times to each lead in the accounts. So that should tell you, hey, if I'm getting leads and I can set aside those call blocks, consistency is key. Okay. And even if it takes you longer to make those 6 dials, that's okay. But try to set a call block, and that's important. Now, that's what I wanted to wrap up. Let's jump back over and go. Brian, do you want me to actually just jump into listings to leads and show off some of these? You're muted.
I'll take over the screen share really quick just to walk through some of the other ad types that we've showcased in this for some newcomers that may not have seen the previous trainings that we've done in this particular series. And then we'll jump into listings to leads from there.
Sounds good.
So, all right, awesome. So I'm gonna go ahead and scroll way up on this because we've covered quite a few of these. All right, and so FSBOs. FSBOs are also going to be a great place to go ahead and market these to use in remarketing campaigns. So if you guys win, or if you guys have FSBOs that you're sending direct mailers out to, in here we've also covered in this training, and I'll get you guys this slide deck once we have it completed. We've got quite a few more sections in this series that we're going to run through. As you can see, these are the next kind of series. So neighborhood market watch, local business interviews, local reporter, professional interview. This is all kind of geared towards branding yourself in your local market. But we've gone through buyers, sellers, and then we're going to get into branding. So you guys will have a really good slideshow that you guys can download with information on any type of ad that essentially that you guys want to run in the marketplace. But one of the things that we covered in this particular section under FSBOs is that you can actually add a FSBO into a custom audience on Facebook. And so you can, with that for sale by owner, you can put them into your remarketing campaign so that you aren't only sending out direct mailers to them, but you're also showcasing your recently sold listings, your pending listings. You can showcase a seller's guide in front of them. There's several different ad examples that we actually provided in here for those for sale by owners as well, that you guys would be able to utilize. But a couple of great postcards that you guys can use there too. The next one on the list was actually going to be those home valuation ads. So again, I just wanted to show you guys really briefly what those ads can look like on Facebook, how you can go ahead and remarket. Again, you also want to utilize postcards for those as well in your long-term follow-up with those individuals. Now, another one that we would look at is retargeting those expireds, canceleds, and withdrawals. And again, you've got quite a few different PDFs that you can use here for sending out direct mail or postcards. And you also have these postcard examples that are above here as well, that are all going to be available in Mailbox Power. And if we are going to be running Facebook ads, here's a handful of ideas to run to those potential expireds, cancels, withdrawals. Expired listing that failed to sell, what now? Great PDF ad to run and put in front of that person that just had their home on the market, but wasn't able to get it closed or sold. Pending listing ads are great to run behind those, as well as solds. And of course, those sellers guides. So I just wanted to go through and kind of showcase some of those to you guys before we dove back into all the tech stuff with listings to leads. And that should give you guys a pretty good idea on how to run those. And then once William jumps into here, he's also going to show you the simple button that you have to click. It's just one button to start retargeting and re-engaging those individuals.
Absolutely. So I did want to show you guys this. This is one of the examples of listings to leads, newest little video clip. And you can see here that it's not a constant long clip. It's about a 5-second clip that runs again with different information. And that's because you want to be able to catch somebody wherever they're at scrolling in their feed, right? So it is smart the way they built these. I really like that. But they're great. They're eye-catching and trying to get you to click. Now, if we click change image, I think, yep, here we go. So we've got first-time home selling. We've got secrets to selling your home fast. The rent to own process. I really like this one. Let's take a look at this one. Didn't realize it was gonna do that. Okay, here we go. While that is processing, I'm going to talk about retargeting. So here is the ability for us to retarget current leads. And basically, Listings to Leads has created 3 different custom audiences automatically for you. Okay, so you have a buyer audience, you have a seller audience, and then you have an audience with both of those tied together. And so all you have to do is check this box in order to retarget your current leads. Now, it's important to note that by checking this box, it's only going to hit those people that are in the retargeting campaign. It's not like a special ad audience or a lookalike audience where it's going to target your location and those people in your retargeting area or audience, excuse me. So it is important to note that. And basically, you want to make sure that you've got a good audience built up over time. You don't want to run one ad, have 50 leads, and then do a retargeting campaign. It's going to be a waste of your money. So after you've been running ads for a couple months, use these audiences. If you're running other types of ads, you tie in those audiences as well, and make it so that you've got a good retargeting option to use. And there's a lot of different strategies and video types in Listings to Leads that you could utilize to be able to catch people. So definitely something to look at for generating sellers and retargeting sellers.
One thing I'd like to add on to that is that this gives us the ability to run several different lead magnets out front. So you can run and without retargeting. So your initial ad won't be a retargeting ad because it's your feeder ad. It's what's going to feed to your audience and the growth of your audience so that you can continue to remarket those individuals. But you could essentially run a what's my home worth ad out there where you're getting a home valuation request from them. You could run a pending listing and you could run a just sold listing, for example. And then behind each one of those 3 feeders, now you have 3 different ads that are going to be bringing in leads to your database. And then as those leads are feeding into your platform, you could then set up a series of 4 to 5, or you can go as deep as you would want with those for retargeting campaigns. I would recommend utilizing these videos, utilize your recently sold, utilize your pendings, utilize those sellers guide ads, all of that good stuff, so that you are starting to build a constant audience of people that are actively interested in selling their home. But once they hit your database, the buck doesn't stop with just your texts, your emails, our ISA team calling those leads, or you calling those leads. Now you have additional remarketing that's automatically layered and in place, so that once they become a new lead in your database, they're going to see you again and again and again on their Facebook feed with video messaging, just like this free guide video that William's showing you here, or with individual static image ads, so that we can collect additional information from that homeowner every step of the way. So if you wanted to set it up so that you were having them complete a survey as part of retargeting, that would be a great way to go about capturing some more information on their home and asking a question like, have you done any recent updates or repairs to your home that may increase its value? You're going to have a homeowner just start throwing everything out there on that survey, telling you, oh, I've updated the kitchen. We just put new granite countertops in, new tile floors. We also replaced the windows on the house. So everything's updated and up to code, and it's going to be extremely efficient. So you guys can actually have your marketing all set in place with one strategy that will be completed from A to Z, just like that. My dogs are going crazy. I'll be right back, guys.
Yep, no worries. Okay, so we've got retargeting, and actually I think we should probably do a more in-depth training on retargeting as well, because there's a lot of different things that you can really do for retargeting. You can shoot your own videos for retargeting, and you can run them as reach ads. Reach ads get a much larger impression in comparison to lead generation ads. So you're reaching a lot more people, which means that you can also set the consistency a little higher. So with reach ads, you could make it so that you want your ad to be seen a minimum of 6 times to that one individual. And by doing so, you're making them remember your brand. Okay. And so that's one thing that would be beneficial. And inside of leads to ROI, you can actually add people to a Facebook custom audience, right? If you go in and add the connection. And so essentially you could take your FSBOs and your canceled expired withdrawns and have those leads automatically uploaded to a seller custom audience, right? There's no reason you couldn't. And so doing different ad types with reach ads or just a generic video or retargeting campaign is going to be beneficial to you. And so Brian, what else were you wanting me to go over? You were wanting me to show some more of the ad types?
Essentially just showcasing how simple it is to retarget. And then if you wanted to cover some additional ad types, go for it.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, I already went over it. Luckily, all you have to do is just check the box. Listings to leads literally made it extremely simple. You check the box, and then you are going to select whatever buyer, seller, audience that listings to leads already created.
Absolutely. And you guys, a cool thing about this as well. So we've also showcased how to take your FSBOs, canceled, expired, withdrawns, how to create Facebook audiences with those. We did that earlier on in this training series. So if you go back a couple of videos on our YouTube, it was posted live. We just haven't updated all of the titles on those. We do those once every couple of months. William and I go back through all of them and update them. But we are bringing somebody on to do that for us live. So they will be updated much quicker here in the near future for you guys. But if you create an audience for your FSBOs, your canceled, your expireds, your withdrawals, you can also use those lists in retargeting through listings to leads or just through Facebook if you want to build the ads directly in there. So they give you the opportunity to upload the list directly through listings to leads, or you can do it in Facebook. Either way, those leads are going to show up inside of your audience in Facebook, and Facebook does a really good job pinpointing that ideal person or that particular individual that was on that list. They use first name, last name, phone number, email, and zip code to find those individuals. And you guys, it's pretty crazy, but Facebook has more data points on each one of us than we want them to. And they probably know exactly when we're going to eat, what we're going to eat, and how we're going to get there. So Facebook does a really good job putting you in front of exactly who you need to be in front of by uploading those lists. So they'll find them.
All right, and so here I'm going to pull open. Let's see if I can find. I don't think I can do just the seller ones, but we can look at just the seller ones. So we've got virtual home selling for local homeowners. What does homeowners insurance cover? Scaling down the ins and outs of selling an inherited home. That's interesting. I like that.
That would be a great. So that particular ad, the ins and outs of selling an inherited home. If you guys noticed, My Plus Leads also offers probate. And so if you guys are getting probate leads directly through them, you could have that advertisement go in front of those probate leads, giving you the opportunity to work with those folks.
Yeah.
What was that one?
Oh, I was just saying Sue because she's doing that right now. So
yeah, that looks awesome.
Yeah. So
and it's a very non-invasive way of doing that as well. I've heard some horror stories from agents working with probate. It's a very trying time in somebody's life. One of their loved ones had just passed away. They inherited this piece of real estate. In a lot of cases, they don't know what to do with it, whether they're going to sell it, whether they're going to keep it as an investment property. So it's one of those things that you want to make sure that you have an extremely soft approach with them. And so if you're running an ad for the ins and outs of selling an inherited home to them, they're just going to see it on their Facebook feed. You're not actually in their face. You're not on the phone dialing them, getting in their ear saying, hey, I want to list your house. I know that your grandma just died, but I want to list the house and help you sell it for the most money. This is a very non-invasive way of putting your marketing in front of those folks and giving you the opportunity to win the listing without being a pest.
So we've got 6 questions to ask before you sell your house. We've got a for sale by owner video guide. We've got an expired listings that failed to sell. What now? Question mark. The secret to selling a home in any season. Questions to ask when selling a home. Yep. So safe home selling, home seller negotiation secrets, how to increase your home value. So a lot of great different videos here that I would suggest taking a look at. A lot of great stuff, and no reason why we shouldn't test all of these. All right. Do we have any questions from anybody?
Feel free to unmute yourself or raise your hand.
Wouldn't these also be, oh, sorry, go ahead. You first.
No, that's right. I can wait.
What were you going to say, Stacia?
I was going to say that
What
you
you're
know,
about
you could,
to
you
reinvent
could
your, adapt to this changing market.
I have no idea what
Introducing
that
Turbo
was.
Bullseye.
Oh, whoops. That started a presentation. I'm sorry. I pushed a button, I guess, on my keyboard and started a presentation. Please continue, Stacia.
So couldn't we also use these and sort of build an overall campaign to these different segments and utilize these not only in ads, but also to do those additional touches and providing value?
Absolutely.
That's a good point. I don't know if we can we download those videos? That's the only thing
I bet you they're in the library, William.
Let's check
But I
it out.
think, you know, we're always looking on how to add value when they're in our pipeline. And it just seems to me that this is a way, other than just sending, you know, the postcards and everything else, you add these sort of things in to provide additional value and basically, you know, show that you
Look
have
at
more
that.
value.
Yep, you can download them right there.
Now, does this video also have branding for the individual agent in it?
No, I don't know how they'd be able to do that. That would be amazing if they could, but I haven't seen one yet that does have branding.
No, I mean, no, you're definitely onto something there, Stacia. I mean, one of the big things when it comes to remarketing those individuals, you do want to incorporate video text and video emails. And so you could very simply download these. We recommend Loom and BombBomb are the two primary tech video campaigns for sending texts or emails. They both work very similarly. BombBomb's more designed specifically for real estate. Loom is essentially the exact same thing at a quarter of the price. So we personally like Loom just because it's inexpensive and we like to save our agents money. But if you like BombBomb, use BombBomb, whatever you're working with. But you can download these videos from Listings to Leads, upload them into either BombBomb or Loom, and then you can add them to video text or video emails. In your guys' video text, Loom and BombBomb give you a GIF. It's a moving image with a play button on it that will actually display in the text or the email. And when they click on it, it's going to just send them to the URL where the video is actually displayed. So they aren't going to get the video in the text. They aren't going to get it in the email. But once they click on it, it's just going to redirect them to a landing page with the video on it so that they can view it. And then you'll be able to get stats to showcase that you've had this number of folks that have viewed your videos and have seen your content. And then once you've gone ahead and downloaded those, added those in, you're going to increase your response rates because, again, you're helping provide additional value to that homeowner in the form of education to sell their house. I think that's a great ad. Thank you for bringing that up, Stacia.
Sure.
I
So,
also have a thought on that. If you
Yeah.
if you get like a Fiverr guy to make you a little intro or outro or maybe a little of both, and you use, you know, some sort of like Apple movie or I know they got something for Windows that's real cheap. You could brand those videos pretty easily, or just hire a Fiverr guy to brand it for you. And then you would have that video coming through with your branding.
absolutely. So it looks like there's only a few that you're actually allowed to download.
That's
Most-
something that we could get with Scott Peterson, see if we can get more of these downloadable.
Yeah, I'll see if that's something that they'd be okay with just giving us.
For some reason, anytime we bring up something that our users want, they go ahead and do it for us. They like what we're doing for them. So
Yep.
I think it's because we've helped move the needle pretty massively with their program.
I have another question, if it's okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So I that probate video intrigued me, but could I create a custom audience and retarget to like my probate leads, or do you need like a couple thousand of them before it makes sense to do something like that?
If you're running it through listings to leads, you're going to get a lower cost per market because they have that app that fits. Kind of, I think maybe the easiest way to explain this is, I think of it this way is if you're going and building an ad yourself on Facebook, Facebook doesn't know that we're fitting everything within the box until it goes through this strenuous review. So your review process when you build your own ad can take anywhere from 2 hours to 24 hours before Facebook says, hey, you checked all the boxes, everything's good, let's go ahead and push it live. Because the app through listings to leads puts everything in the box automatically, and you have to run a minimum of 1,500 tests. William and I actually have been working on this app for ourselves outside of listings to leads before we started working with them. But before you can even publish your app live, you have to run a minimum of 1,500 tests through that app that are successful, meaning your ads that you're creating in the app that are then being imported into Facebook have no errors for 1,500 attempts. Once you have that, Facebook essentially just says, hey, if you're running an ad through this app, we already know that it checks all of our boxes and it meets our criteria. They push that ad live faster and they give you a lower cost per market. So if you wanted to test that, Sue, you're going to get a much lower cost per lead and much lower cost per marketing that audience. If we're doing it through listings to leads, we can definitely get something going on that. Maybe we can get something started for you tomorrow in support hour and start running a test with that if you'd like.
Okay, that sounds cool.
Awesome. Any other questions today? Oh, I see Monica had asked. Definitely. The good thing, Monica, is that whether or not the branding is provided in the video, if it's running through your Facebook, it's going to have branding from your page on the post automatically. And then you can add in things like your license number, phone number, contact info, things like that to the ad if you choose to do so. And if, and again, I'd recommend joining the support hour tomorrow with Sue. It's going to be, it's what, 11 a.m. tomorrow, PST, William?
Correct. Yep.
And that would be a great time to set up a handful of these series for tests on all the new awesome listings to leads tools they're providing to us. Awesome. Well, I think that about wraps everything up for today. You guys, I really appreciate you guys tuning in and joining us for our live training. We've got just a little bit more in this series to go, and we're going to cover branding on the next series that will be on Tuesday. I should be able to get through all of the branding stuff by Thursday, wrap up this training series, and then we'll get this PDF or this slideshow downloaded, added to the Facebook group after next Thursday's training. And you guys will all be able to go in and download and utilize this PDF and review for your records if you want to run ads on your own, or just keep it so that you have different marketing options or things that you can do. Maybe this could even be something that you would showcase to a potential seller, showing that you've got a marketing company that has this incredible engine that can do all of these things behind it for you. So anyways, I appreciate everybody tuning in. We will see you guys next week on Tuesday at 1 o'clock PST, or tomorrow in our live support training. So.
Thank you, everybody.
So I wanted to run something by you guys.
Oh, what was that? I think William actually just dropped out already.
Oh, okay.
Oh, go ahead though.
So I actually did this letter that I think is going to have a pretty good impact, but wanted to kind of chat with you guys about it. I did. It's to what my title guy says. He runs it through this program. I don't remember, but most likely to sell, highly likely to sell. And I painstakingly went through 275 homes, looked up their current Redfin and Zillow values that were vastly different. And so the letter all goes around, you can't depend on these things. You can see how different they are, which is why you need us to come in and give you a real value.
I think that's great. Oh, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to get your insight on that. I literally, it just mailed today. So I just wondered if you'd seen anything like that.
No,
Okay,
definitely.
I've got, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I've
no,
seen things like it, but go ahead.
No.
Okay. One thing I wanted to show you on that note is if you go to Zillow and you scroll down, they have his estimates down here at the bottom. Now, I only know this because I worked for them for years, but a big thing on here is that they actually show their margin of error rate that they have on here.
And I put that in the letter.
Awesome. So
And
I highly
it's-
recommend utilizing this. They keep saying that their margin of errors are going down and going down and going down, but they're still actually, depending on the marketplace that they're in, they're between 20 and 40% off on those estimates.
Right.
On average nationwide.
Yeah, what I did is I looked at the neighborhood and actually pulled all of those numbers, and it's like for this neighborhood in Marin County, it's like 36% off. And so I put that in there.
What's the average home value in that market?
In that neighborhood, it's just under, I would say 1.8, but what they're getting right now is closer to 2.4.
I was gonna say way too much.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it could be off by as much as $650,000.
Exactly.
36%
Exactly.
swing.
Exactly.
Wow. That
And
is
that-
crazy.
That's the point of the letter, to get them to try and call, because
I like
the
it.
values, and there are some values between, and I was going to do more. I was going to do CoreLogic and Realtor.com, but it took so much time to look all those homes up individually because there's 275 of them, that I thought, okay, that's crazy. Let's just don't go overwhelmed here. But some of them between Redfin and Zillow were like $300,000 difference.
Yeah.
And the
So-
point was, go ahead.
So I was talking with one of our clients, and one of the things that the agents that she's that are in her circle that's working for them right now getting listings is they're taking a equity report and taking a testimonial page about themselves and a net sheet. I don't know what RPR is, but that she mentioned RPR.
Yeah, that's real.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, and it's basically what RPR does, and it's included in most MLSs, is they claim to have better data because it's actually coming from realtors.
Got it. Okay. So yeah, that's what she said. And basically they're taking that and printing out, a full report, 20 pages or, a lot of data. And they're taking that to the homeowner's doorstep. So whether it's they must be doing it to their sphere, but that's generated a ton of listings for them. So kind of the same thing. I thought it was an interesting strategy. I'm going to dive a little deeper and hear what she has to say about it.
Yeah, that's good. Well, I'll let you know how this letter does.
I
mean, if
like
it's-
that angle. That's great.
If it's a total fail, I won't ever spend that much time on something again.
You're muted, Brian.
Are you sending it out? You're sending it out as a direct mail?
I sent it out as a personal letter.
Okay.
Yeah,
and-
I can't hear you.
She sent it as a personal letter.
Okay. I think if you scoot your computer closer, maybe.
Is that better?
There we go.
There we
Yeah.
go.
Okay. Yeah, so I sent it out as a personal letter, and I got a handwriting font that looks really close to handwriting, because a lot of times I will handwrite them because I know that they'll get opened, but the amount of time that it took to do the individual Zillow and Redfin values, I just decided I was going to use a font. So,
Fair enough.
but it looks pretty good. But I'll let you know.
I would send a series of mailers out beyond that. One mailer isn't typically going to get you a large amount of response, but if you send, say, 4 or 5 that are kind of on that same note, talking about the differences in home values, and then maybe send like a seller's guide behind it, especially if you're going on the theme of a handwritten letter or not a handwritten letter, but a letter.
Seller's guide, okay.
Seller's guide would also be good to be sending behind that. And then Listings to Leads provides things like QR codes and all that stuff on their materials so that it'll drive them to the Listings to Leads landing pages. I love it. I think that's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
I'm
great.
just trying to do things differently just because we have so many agents in Marin County. It's crazy. It's very competitive.
I'd love it if we could track that from A to Z and do a case study on it and see how well it performs.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. So maybe what I'll do is then follow up with the seller guide with the in the letter format. I don't think I want to update the Zillow and Redfin valuations. Of course, I could just leave it. I don't know. Just follow up, maybe just follow up with the seller guides.
I think seller guides would be good as well. Seller guides, and then go through the seller PDFs that Listings to Leads has. Now, sending a seller guide is going to be fairly expensive because it's going to be a lot of different sheets of paper, right? So that seller's guide, I think, has 25 pages in it. So that would have a pretty high cost to send out. But I still think it would be a great way to put something directly in front of them that's going to showcase your expertise. I also recommend sending those out behind home valuation if you're sending it through direct mail. But
what do you think about sending a one-pager that basically just has the QR code for the seller's guide and has the table of contents in it? And
that'd be
basically
great.
do a quick follow-up. 2 weeks ago, you received your valuation. Basically referring to the first letter. And then, thought I'd follow up with a detailed seller's guide. Please use the QR code below. Here's the table of contents. I don't know. I gotta figure out how to word it.
I think that would be great. That would be cost effective, and you'd still deliver the same message.
Right. Well, and can we track it all when somebody actually uses the QR code?
So you'll be able to track that somebody hit the landing page, but you won't know exactly who it was unless they fill out a request. So here's the thing: when they get to your landing page for the free report, you can actually go in and modify the information that you request from that individual. So for example, if we go into Listings to Leads, so inside of the platform, you can actually modify your specific landing pages that you have. And so you can go into the landing pages, and let's say we created a new landing page for, actually William's better at this than I am, but if we go and we created a new landing page, and let's see if we have one for a seller's guide that they already have created. Let me take a look. Custom landing pages. So we can do a custom landing page that would do it. Free HUD report, free value increase, FSBO expired, legacy landing pages. It looks like they aren't giving us a landing page for it. Well, let's do market report landing pages, and let's just say. So if you were to go into Listings to Leads and create a custom landing page, there is a section where you can select for the drop-ins. I'm not 100% familiar with creating the page from scratch. I'm sure William could showcase that to us a little bit better than I can. But when you're in one of these pages, you can actually go into the form fields. And if you move to page 2, which is where that form is going to be submitted, you can require or make certain fields hidden or optional. So you could essentially request a name and an email address from them, only those two pieces of information. So you're getting a name and their email, and then you could actually start sending them emails with additional information. That would give you the highest rate of form fill or form completion if you're not asking for the phone number and their personal address and all that additional stuff. But the good thing is that wherever you've gotten that data from, so if you pulled that data from Remine, or if you got it from a local title company, anything along those lines, there's tools that we can access where we can help you kind of append that data so that if you have an email address and a first name, we can more than likely get their cell phone number or get their home address. So that way you have all of that information ready for you. But it would make it so that they would complete that form the quickest.
Another thing that I've been doing for our clients that are doing mailers is I'm actually using your guys' booking calendar. And to me, it's a nice non-invasive way to get people to just, hey, all you're doing is booking a time, but in order to book that time, you have to put in your information, right? So that booking calendar is a nice little way. It's not, there's nothing target specific where it's like, input your information about your home or like anything like that, right? It's just like, hey, book a free time with me. So I've been doing that with a lot of our clients, and yours would be your first name, last name, .bookingwithme.com. So if we go in,
And I want to ask you guys' opinion on one other thing.
I can't hear you again.
Okay. Is that any better?
Yeah.
Kinda.
Okay. So the Facebook ads that we're currently running, the responses that we're getting they're putting the amount so low, like they're looking at 300,000 to 400,000 or 600,000 to 800,000, which there is nothing in our market that's even remotely close to that price point. And so I just don't know. My gut is not to really even follow up with them because that's just going to be a lesson in futility.
Yeah.
Or, are you seeing that that's typically they're just putting something in there, and they don't want to have anybody contact them, so they're putting a
No.
Actually, let's have Colin answer that because Colin, and I don't, he might actually be going and picking up his kids.
No,
You're
I'm
here. So Colin, when our ISA team is calling behind, from what I have seen, it looks like it's pretty spot on for the home searches based off of what they filled out on Facebook, what they're actually looking for. But what have you found with those? Is there do we have like a certain percentage, say like 20% or something, that are actually looking for something different from what they originally filled out? Or is what they originally filled out typically what the response is to the ISA?
There's a relatively high percentage of it's different. So,
Oh, okay.
and part of it is location. They're giving the ISAs multiple locations instead of just the default that came in on. But also it's like the pricing. They may say 450 to 500, but they're really 400 to 700. So we're getting more personalized on that kind of stuff.
Okay. That's good to know. That's really good to know. So.
See, to 1.7.
Yeah, your market is one of those crazy markets that you're not going to be able to get into a home unless you have over $1 million.
Yeah.
So definitely, I would still follow up with them. Absolutely. I don't like any missed opportunities, especially when it's paid marketing. But that's kind of a realm where I would actually just let the ISAs do it. For those ones personally, I would save my time. I would let the ISAs put the focus there, and then I would put my energy on the higher amount ones that have been filled out. We can also take a look at a couple of different ads. We can dive into the ads that you're running. Are we doing what type of ads are we currently doing for Stacia William?
We aren't doing any right now for her.
Yeah,
We are?
Yeah, we have the one that's off the MLS right now. It's 16 Forest. 16 Forest. 16
Yeah.
Forest.
We have
Okay.
16 Forest that's running right now. And Stacia, you're with EXP, right?
Oh, that's right. We literally just built the ad. I've got my ad guys doing it now instead of me. Sorry.
Right.
As we're expanding, we are delegating more and more of our tasks off, which we are so thankful for, because William and I for the last 2 years have been working 16 to 20 hours a day to keep up with everything. So as we expand and we're growing our teams, it gives us the ability to actually step back and breathe.
Yeah.
And it's needed.
Very nice.
Sleeping is good.
No, you're actually with Coldwell Banker, aren't you, Stacia?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, and it looks like we're at a little too high cost per lead on that as well. So we might want to rebuild that and
When
look
did
at
when did it launch?
just launched yesterday. I want to say we're at 19.
We need to give that a little bit of time, because Facebook's algorithm takes
Yeah.
8 days to go through its learning curve. So
Yeah, fair point.
and that ad's only going to run for that time frame. So maybe we can take a look into that though and get that knocked out. But it's
It looks-
the
it looks-
second day, so we can't
Right.
judge it yet.
So it looks like she's going to want to go ahead, even though a couple days ago she didn't want to do it on the MLS. Now it looks like she's going to want to go on the MLS. So we're probably going to have to change it a little bit when she makes that final decision.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, just keep us posted.
I will. Okay.
Okay.
I've got another call I've got to jump on, everyone. So I do need to run, but that was really awesome, Stacia. Thanks for bringing that up. And I think that'll be beneficial
Absolutely.
for
Oh,
everyone.
one other question. Am I supposed to be getting billed for my plus lead? That's going to be going for you guys.
It was
I
My
can't-
Plus Leads is what she was asking, if she's supposed to be getting billed for My Plus Leads.
For My Plus Leads. So My Plus Leads is something that's billed on your end. Normally we would discount that out of the package.
Okay.
Yeah, so if we have, say, a $497 monthly package, and we're saying, hey, this is going to include My Plus Leads, this is going to include Mailbox Power, we deduct the costs of those from our end, so that way it totals that $497, if that makes sense. That way it fits within the package, but technically we aren't collecting that revenue. It's just going directly to the third parties that we're working with.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Again,
It's so hard to hear you. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
your mic is going in and out.
It's if you look down at the laptop when you're talking, we'll probably.
Okay, can you hear me better now?
Nope.
No, it's the same.
Fine. I don't know what the problem. Nope. I think you just need a new microphone. Sorry.
You know what? I have a new laptop that I need to use, and I just haven't switched over all my stuff. So I will do it next week when I'm home.
I
You'll
caught
probably
most of that.
do it. Yeah, I'm reading your lips. You're gonna change to your new one when you get home. Okay, sounds
Awesome.
great. All right.
Thanks, everybody.
Have a
Enjoy
good
your,
day.
have a good day. And if we don't see you guys before the weekend, enjoy your weekends.
You too.